The 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has boasted that his obedient movement is far more than any political party in the country. The former governor of Anambra State said this in a statement while explaining that the movement was not a directorate of any particular political party in the country. According to Obi, anyone claiming to be at the helm of affairs of what he described as a non-existent directorate is not a member of the obedient movement. He said the movement was far more than a mere political party void of ethnic and religious affiliations. Labour Party chieftain and former governorship aspirant in Anambra State, Ikenna Azomchine, joins us now to discuss the future of the obedient movement in the party and the controversy over the tenure of Labour Party National Chairman Julius Abure. Good to have you on Newsday. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So what are your thoughts, with Peter Obi's disagreement with the Labour Party's newly created Directorate of Obedient Movement?
Well, like I've always maintained, there has never been any need for any directorate in the first place because the obedient movement is greater than the Labour Party, if I may say. And at the same time, the Julius Abure sudden olive yardstick to the obedient movement is a bit suspicious because we have always been organic and we have several leaders. And why did the obedient movement work? Because of the diversity of the leadership, and you can't really pinpoint who is the leader, but all road leads to Peter Obi, who is the principal. So we are glad that the directorate is dead on arrival, because the event of a few days or a few hours ago has taken over all those talks of director or whatever. We are focused, we are happy, we are excited, and we are looking forward to the steps that we are going to take to the right direction.
But then if indeed the obedient movement is bigger than the scope of any political party, I'm wondering how then it can be sustained. How can the movement be sustained so that it can achieve victory in future elections?
Well, from my own point of view as an obedient, we are looking at our principal. He is the leader. We are praying and hoping that the Labour Party will put its ass together vis-a-vis the new convention. They have to go from ward to state to national to conduct themselves well, obediently, and then we will follow. But for now, we are looking at our principal to give us a sense of direction. We are glad to tell you that he tweeted during the when we were requesting for him to come out clear and tell us about this directorate. He came out clean and said, the Obedient Network has no leadership. And as we speak to you now, we are waiting for His Excellency Peter Obi to give us a sense of direction.
But this dispute, between Peter Obi and the Labour Party over the issue of the obedient movement, raises questions about party ideology. Because it does seem like we have some politicians in Nigeria who only use certain parties as platforms, to contest for election without actually believing in their ideals, their goals, and their vision. So I'm wondering, what does this say about democracy in Nigeria?
I think I will strongly disagree with you. I don't think there's any dispute between Peter Obi and the Labour Party. The Labour Party chairman decided to delve into an area he shouldn't have done in the first place. The obedient movement has always been there, and the support groups to do whatever assignment that we will do to get our principal elected. So Abure in the first place should have not had any dreams of, coercing the obedient movement, because the obedient movement never took instructions from him. So it surprises people like me that goes to the party secretariat asking, what can we do? How can we support? And suddenly the persons you're asking, how can you support, is trying to tell you what to do. So we found that very suspicious. But we are focused, we are waiting, we are urging obedience to go and register in their wards in mass, in large numbers. while we are waiting for our principal to give us a sense of direction, the obedient movement is not shaken by any threat from any quarters. Obedience are in PDP, we are in APC, we are in Labour Party, we are all over the world. And I can assure you, I am obedient from the European Union. We are solidly behind a new Nigeria. And that new Nigeria is all we are looking forward to. I am here now in Abuja, looking forward to traveling around the north and the southwest to assess for myself, why are people hungry, why are things expensive, and we are doing our findings. And we will advise the government at the day. In due course, and we advise our principals because we need to rescue the Nigerian people who are hungry at this moment.
Now, I'd like us to speak a bit more, about the controversies surrounding the tenure of Labour Party National Chairman Julius Abure. Like you noted earlier, it seems he's given out an olive branch to all those that he's been having conflict with. What's the status at the moment? Is he still in charge of the party, or is it the NLC that is in charge of the party?
The obedience long ago had advised Abure to exit. I think the INEC has now stamped his signature as invalid. And I think Abure, as a statesman, he should give himself some brains and exit quietly. I must give it to him. Abure has done well. We were all in the campaign trail that caused the tsunami in 2023. So having done all that, we will not just wave Abure aside. He has done well, but it's time to go. We need fresh minds in the Labour Party. The transition committee should put themselves together and do the job. We are looking forward to a convention, a boom convention in Eagle Square. And I urge the APC government to not take that away by not giving us the permit to have the Eagle Square where obedience and all the support groups that did the magic in 23 will come and show our strength. Let them allow us show them what we did, why we claimed or why we said that we won the election. I am so happy and glad. I'm sure all the obedience all over the world have been getting messages that Abure has finally gone. What else can he argue? The INEC, where he vests his powers, your signature is no longer valid, and I think it's time to go. We will welcome his exit, and we are glad that we can forge ahead.
Now, at the height of this crisis, the leadership crisis in the Labour Party, there were insinuations that NLC President Julius Abure wanted to evict Abure and his National Working Committee because he had plans to use the Labour Party as a platform for the 2027 elections. I would like you to react to that.
I wouldn't think anyone can use the Labour Party with the obedience and P2B in the picture. The Labour Party is a bride at this moment. No one can use the Labour Party. The obedience wouldn't even allow you. Look at what the chairman attempted to do. We resisted vehemently. We are going to fight for the new Nigeria, and we are going to possibly use the Labour Party if they put their ass together. I will urge my principal to continue to insist that the Labour Party puts its house in order so that we can fly that flag as we did in 2023.
Now, there was also a bit of, shall I say, conflict or disagreement between a group in the Middle Belt that said Peter Obi erred when he compared Nigeria's election with South Africa, saying that both political terrains are different and cannot be compared. Can you react to that?
You always have to work on divergent views. People cannot all agree with you. Peter Obi is a human being. Well, if they don't accept it, Peter Obi has said his own, what he believes. You see, Peter Obi is a human being. He has his own way of thinking. Sometimes we obedience disagree with him too. So if they disagree with his own version, well, they've aired their view. I'm sure His Excellency will reply them in due course. We have the smartest presidential candidate you can ever find in Africa. So we are not disturbed about him answering those who are against what he says. Everyone must not agree with you.
What next for the Labour Party? Can you give us an idea of how the Labour Party is strategizing for 2027?
We need fresh minds. We need a fantastic chairman, a digital chairman, a chairman that listens, a chairman that carries the obedience along. That is very important because the obedience, my dear, I want to tell you something. You see, the obedient movement is comprised of all those people that are aggrieved with the Nigerian state, plus myself. The market women, the civil servants, you yourself in that studio, you know that feeding your kids these days, I saw they cut yams in pieces now. We need to come together as a nation. President Ahmed Bola Tinubu is our president in 2027. If you like, you can strike from now till tomorrow. It's not going to change anything. You're only going to create more sufferings for Nigerians. My advice is that Nigerians should sit down together across religion, across party lines, and decide for themselves that we need to get out of all these challenges we are having. We need the right leader for Nigeria to be the leader in the African continent that it should be. And we're not going to do it by accusing anybody, by fighting, by insulting. No one will insult our president. He's there. But we need to help him to drive this car till 2027 and hand it over to Peter Obi. We urge him. I will urge him. We will go everywhere in the world begging him to hand over to Peter Obi because that's the only solution we have.
Now, you recall that during the election, there was a lot of criticism, saying that Labour Party does not have structures in place to win a national election. What has been done about these so-called structures that are yet to be put in place?
Really? We were three in a room before? It's laughable for anyone to say that Labour Party has no structure or the obedient network and the support groups. We are the magic. As we speak today, we can conduct election in less than 6 months. If you really want to see the magic the obedient network and the support group can, we are organic. We have a fantastic network. Peter Obi is set to be president. We are only delaying the changes that Nigeria needs to be the leader and the great African country that everybody looks forward to. Look, we are being a laughing stock of the whole world. I don't know why we are hungry. We have a fertile land. We have everything in Nigeria. Whatever you think that is money in natural resources, name it, we have it. So why are we hungry? Just bad planning, bad leadership. No. So I'm here today to appeal to Nigerians. Once, let me say this. Christians, Muslims, whatever tribe you speak, I'm sure your children are telling you that they need more food. We have 2 years. We'll continue to pray for the president to navigate us till the end because whatever we do now, our president is there till 2027. But by 2027, he should hands off, give it out to that right person, which we are going to let you know. And our principal for now is the right person, unless he changes his mind. We don't need these insults. We don't need this accusation. We don't need even Labour to play their gimmicks because I believe that Labour unions, they are not even serious. Why would you call off strike when you have not achieved your aim? I suspect personally that these labor unions are just there as members of the group. Why did you suspend the strike? Go on with the strike until you achieve your aims. But if you must break it and start it again, your Nigerian people are dying. The moment you call off strike, the price of food goes up. There's no fuel, there's no light. You know, all the little businesses that need electricity to thrive are all on hold. I was traveling yesterday. I was asking people questions. No, these strikes kill Nigerians, please. It kills them. I'm sorry to be very sarcastic. The moment you go on strike, the poor people suffer more. So it makes no sense, absolutely.
It's possible.
Really
Maybe they were
no
actually
sense.
considering the sufferings of Nigeria. Maybe, who knows? Maybe that's why they decided to call it off. I really can't speak for Labour. But then I'm wondering, Peter Obi, when he was campaigning for president, he also said he was going to remove fuel subsidy. A number of the policies that this administration had taken, I think Peter Obi too supported it during the campaigns. So what's different now? Is it really fair to criticize this administration for things that Peter Obi himself planned to do if he had become president of the country?
In my wildest dream, I wouldn't think Peter Obi will stand on inaugural ceremony and remove fuel subsidy. He wouldn't do that. Peter Obi would have put steps, planned it well before ever mentioning it. You don't remove fuel subsidy on the day of inauguration. What are the? Have you looked into how? It's not wise to remove fuel subsidy on the first day. Peter Obi wouldn't do that. I'm sure Peter Obi would have done better. I'm very sure. Look at his track records in Anambra and in the banks. The templates. Peter Obi will never scrap a fuel subsidy on the first day. He wouldn't do that, I'm sure. I'm not an economist anyway, but whatever permutations you want to bring on board now, you ask yourself, how much is a tuber of yam? How much is a bag of rice? How much is your transportation back home if it's Uber or whatever you're using? Nigerians are choking, and I love us. We are very patient people. Imagine it was in Somalia. You people will knife you as soon as you come on the road. But we are patient. Look, I was out in Wuse too yesterday. All the pubs where you normally see people jubilating, they are all empty. As an event manager, I was asking myself, where are all these people? They are at home, complaining, angry, but they can't fight because Nigerians don't want to fight. We have grown up together as Nigerians. We've loved ourselves. Forget all this political brouhaha of ethnic and religious. I was educated in the north. The sons of Ahmadu Bello and the younger brother of the Emir of Zaria, they were my classmates. We slept in the bunks together. We never knew who we were at Federal Government College, Sokoto. Today, once they lose election, they bring these yardsticks. Nigerians will say no in 2027. We are ready to use our funds to educate Nigerians because everyone is hungry. And we need this change dearly. Dearly. We're not going to fight about it. We are going to take our message to the European Union. We're going to take our message to the US government. Wherever these our corrupt leaders find succor, we will go there and cry to them to leave us alone, to conduct a free, fair, and credible election in 2027. Well, and by God's grace, we will have a leader. We'll have a leader.
Well, at the end of the day, it is Nigerians that will decide their leaders. I really doubt if it's the EU or the US that would actually come and pick a president for us. But then Ikenna Azomchine.
No, we are appealing to them. We are appealing to them to help us. They should help us in whatever way to speak to the leadership. You are aware that INEC would. Let me not go there now. We are not ready for that.
And we are even completely out of time.
Thank you so much. Our professors are still there. Our professors are still there to sell our votes. So we are going to be using non-professors in this 2027. We have to use the field men, and not the educated ones who will probably sell our votes. Thank you very much for having me.
We'll wait and see. Honorable Ikenna Azomchine, Labour Party chieftain and former governorship aspirant in Anambra State. Thank you so much for joining us on News.